You know what I've realized that I hate? Movies.
What spurred this on?
I just I just don't like movies. I don't like the commitment to watching a movie. I don't like actually I think that's my biggest problem. I don't like spending 2 hours doing something. I just don't enjoy movies.
You don't seem to have a problem with like Ghibli movies though.
No, even that, like I have to like psych myself up to watch it, to like sit there and watch something. I don't like watching something new that I know I'm gonna have to commit 2 hours to.
I totally get that too. Like even I tried to sneak in those Ghibli movies at the end of the year to have our like anime of the year conversation, and it was like I had to watch like 15 episodes of Haikyuu before I was warmed up to watch that 2 hours of a Ghibli film,
But
even though
that's
I
the
just
weird
watched
thing.
four
I'll
hours.
watch exactly. I'll watch like 4 hours worth of episodes of something, but they have to be the 20-minute episodes. I won't even watch like hour-long shows anymore
No,
because it's just
absolutely
like
not.
I see that I'm like, no, I'm not doing this.
Unless like I'm folding laundry or something, like I can't do it. It's too much.
No. But I watched all of Stone Ocean in a day.
It's like I don't care if it's 6 hours. I'll throw it out the window if as long as it's broken up into digestible
Yeah, as
chunks.
long as you presented it to me as something quick. But when it's as a whole, I'm not doing it.
Fulfill my ADD for me, please.
I'll do it for an anime movie. I just can't sit and watch like a new live action movie. I can't do it.
I don't know the last time I've seen a live action movie, man.
I'm trying to think other than like Harry Potter, I can't remember the last time I actually watched a movie. Oh no, I watched a lot of Christmas movies. Those don't count though.
That's kind of like you don't care if you miss anything, you know? It's garbage. Not garbage, it's
No.
popcorn.
Absolutely not. Not garbage.
Excuse me?
Tim Allen as the Santa Claus is one of the greatest performances of all time.
Never seen it. Never seen that. Never seen the Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
Jingle all the way.
I've Jingle All the Way. I have no childhood.
I don't think I want to do this podcast with you anymore.
I don't think you wanted to do it from the beginning.
On that note,
Welcome to S Class, the highest tier of podcasting. Joining with me, as always, is the merriest of Santas. It's Robert.
it's January.
And I am your host, the Grinch, Justin.
That one works even better, actually.
Rob, what have you been up to?
Not much. You gave me COVID, so
I think you gave me COVID, to
that's
be honest.
impossible because I started way after you.
But you have way more exposure. I only saw like 2 people outside of my family. And then I think my immune system is just weaker than yours, so I got it earlier.
No, I'm positive I got it at work after seeing you.
After seeing me. Oh, you went back to work after we hung out that day.
Yes.
Okay.
And then a week, 4 days after I was in close contact with somebody at work, I started showing symptoms.
Yeah, I got it. I think when I saw you, I didn't have any symptoms yet. And then like 2 days later, I had like a sore throat.
No, definitely wasn't me then.
I mean, I don't know if it was you or not. I'm not blaming you, but I definitely got it.
I'm blaming you.
Rob, so you've been watching some anime.
I have. And it usually takes me a lot to watch something on somebody's recommendation, but I've really been enjoying Blue Period.
You are up to episode 11 now?
Yes, I only have, one more episode?
One more episode, end of the season. I stayed up really late last night and I watched episode 12. It was very good.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I can't believe how much I've enjoyed this show.
It's never a trudge to get through an episode,
No,
in my opinion.
I agree.
Do you have any thoughts you want to chat about it, or?
Uh, I know you presented it as being very relatable to you, like,
Right.
and then throughout, like, I saw those elements of it. But like, then once he started getting the hives from like nothing, then I was like, oh my god, this guy's literally Justin. This is amazing.
For people who don't know, which is probably everyone listening to this podcast, number 1, I am allergic to everything, and number 2, I break out in hives from cold exposure. Like, I could go swimming if I'm playing basketball and I'm sweating. Cold wind, hives.
Like the second I saw him start scratching his arm and then they show the hives, I was like, oh my god, everything about this guy is Justin.
This is literally Justin. Hates himself. Can draw a little bit. That's
Doesn't
him.
think he's good at anything.
There you go.
Too smart for his own good.
Certainly not that one.
Wait, actually, my favorite part of this series, though, nothing to do with you, is when like one of his like delinquent friends is like, "Yeah, I'm going to be a patisserie chef. I'm going to be a baker." And I was like, "Wait, what?"
He has such a good relationship with his friends, though. It's so heartwarming.
Oh, I love it. Yeah,
Because like they're a bunch of degenerates, and like they want to support him though. They're like, oh, he's the good one. Like he'll get far in life, and they want to support his dreams. It's so cool.
But then he supports them back.
Yeah. Oh my god. You know what's really funny about the series? I love when he gets like the blush. He gets really embarrassed easily,
Oh, he's
and
so shy all the time. Yeah,
like anyone who compliments him, he just starts like red in the face, and it's like adorable in a way.
he is very wholesome.
It's very wholesome. I love it so much. You want to talk about your best girl,
Kuwana?
Kawana?
is, that, is that her name, right?
I think so. I don't know.
You don't even know?
Dude, the side characters in the show they're mid, they're okay.
Oh, Kuwana's everything.
Kwana's like top tier.
Who's your best girl?
Ryuji.
I knew you were going to say Ryuji.
Ryuji, like on that note, like this is the best trans representation I've ever seen in anime. Like, because Japanese anime tends to make it like a joke, which is really sad. But this one is just like was so freaking heartfelt the way they portrayed them.
Right, and they showed the struggle and, with your family that can come with that. And then, there were bits of acceptance, bits of struggle. And I think it was, showing that nuance was great.
Yeah. I was not expecting that at all walking into this. Remember, like when they reveal that they're biologically male. Like I was like, whoa, was not expecting that because I thought they were going to get shipped together, and that was really cool for them to do that.
I'm just never expecting nuance in any anime I watch. So when it is there and is actually done well, it's much appreciated.
Yeah, I think just about every character has something like going on with them that's like pretty layered. Like whether it's like that really awkward mean kid who's at the art club, or Kuwana, or his delinquent friends. Everyone's got something going on. I really like it.
Except that one guy with the like hair braids.
The
Really tall guy with the purple hair braids. He's just a freak.
You know what? I think the other thing about this is like I'm kind of like Yatora, or I have a foot in each door. Like I have half of me that's like the logical, very like math and science kind of guy, and the other part of me is like I just so happen to like art a lot. So that's why I relate to him so much. But artists are fucking weird. I have a whole bunch of artist friends, and they're just like they're so cool. I love them, but they're just the most eccentric people ever. Just like fucking braid dude, or the socially awkward kid. It just feels really familiar hanging out with these characters, as well as the way I see my friends.
I liked when his mom was telling him to call his friend to go out for New Year's for the socially awkward kid. He's like, my mom wanted me to make plans.
He's just so miserable, that kid. He's so antisocial. He makes an appearance in episode 12. He says some pretty fun quotable lines, so
I like
check that out. Yeah, he's a cool character, even though he's a pain in the ass.
But you appreciate it because like he's clearly like got some social issues, but they're not giving up on him. They're trying to like pull him along with them.
Yeah, and
it's like Eeyore and Winnie the Pooh. Like, okay, we know you're depressed and hate life, but like, come on, let's go out.
You're coming to the tea party with us.
Let's have a good time.
I love how much the purple braid freak guy just like drags him along everywhere, and the shy guy's always just like, oh god, I hate him so much.
Fine, but I'll go, I guess.
I'll go, I guess. Yeah. So that's Blue Period. It's really good. I'm going to switch over to the manga shortly. I'm just deciding if I should start from the beginning or if I should just jump into like chapter 20 or whatever it is.
Yeah. All that is to say is that was a good recommendation. I've enjoyed it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah. That was a surprise on my part as well. Speaking of recommendations, this one was actually a gift from you. I'll give it my all tomorrow. We made a Christmas gifting episode. You can check that out. And Rob gave this to me because he thought it related to me.
Did it?
Okay,
I did not read it, so I don't know. I only did it based on my research and the description.
I think it was a good gift. In the beginning, it's sort of funny and relatable. So it's about this 40-year-old man who quits his job from corporate to become a manga artist. And that's sort of the part I think Rob resonated with me. And it's funny, but as chapters go on, it gets really fucking depressing.
Oh no.
So like he's this deadbeat dad, essentially. Like he lives with his father and his daughter, who's like 18 or 16 or 17 years old. And like he quits his job and all he does is play video games in his house in his boxers all day. And like he'll borrow money from his daughter, be like, oh, hey, how's school? Oh, by the way, can I have $200? And he goes to a brothel, And one day he's there. He's like, oh, I feel so much better. And then he walks out. He sees his daughter at the brothel. His
Oh,
dad hates him. His dad's like, why don't you stop being a deadbeat and work hard? Like, and he's like, I'm doing great, Dad. Like, get off my back. And he has this undeserved confidence in himself. He's like, I'm killing it in life, despite being like the worst human ever. And it's so sad and depressing, but also like it's a train wreck you can't look away from.
oh dear God.
The art style also, it's two things. Number one, it's really poorly drawn. It's maybe a step above One from One Punch Man, the original
Ooh.
artist. Like slightly better than that in terms of the way
Is
things
this an
are.
autobiography then?
I don't know. There's this one chapter in like the second volume that I started reading where he goes through letters that people have sent him, and one of them's like, Sensei, why don't you try drawing harder? He's like, I'm trying my best. um it's pretty bad, but at the same time it kind of gives me confidence, as horrible as that sounds. It's like, as long as you have a compelling story that's interesting, it doesn't matter what it looks like.
As long as it's your style and you kind of own it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of going back to Blue Period. It's like, you just got to get over yourself and stop beating yourself up so much and just put it out there. And even if it's shite, like at least you're doing it. So in that way, it's sort of inspiring because this dude made this manga in spite of his art abilities, or maybe he's just hiding his power level. I don't know.
It doesn't seem like it.
I think you should read the first volume, see if you'd like it, but it's pretty funny and horrible. I don't know. I'm gonna finish this one through because I think it's only like 5 volumes.
Okay. So hopefully there's a happy ending there.
I don't know. I don't. One more thing. It reminds me of Bakuman, but like the complete opposite. So it's like Bakuman's about these two high schoolers who are like really good at their level. Like people are like, oh my God, don't let these don't let these high school kids go away. Like they're gonna be great, right? And their editor lets them keep like creating this good stuff. He goes to his editor and he literally sends him like 20 different things, and his editor is like so nice but has no confidence. He's like, oh yeah, that one's really good, like their next one's going to be great, and he still can't get published. 20 things later, he's like, man, it seems like you can do just about any genre, like, but we're still not going to publish you.
But none of it is good.
But he never says that. He's always like boosting this guy's already inflated ego up, and it's just like, oh my God, just tell him to stop. That is, I'll give it my all tomorrow. Robert, you've been reading Lupin III?
Just the movie. And I also took advantage of Barnes & Noble had a hardcover manga sale, and I got The Greatest Heist of Lupin III.
Oh, interesting.
It's a physical hardcover manga. It just came out in November. It just has like some of, I think it's like maybe 5 or 6 like stories, like of, I don't know. I don't really know how the manga works with Lupin III. I guess they're standalone.
That's how the anime was, but maybe it's a compilation set because I'm pretty sure the author passed away recently, or a couple years
I think
ago.
within the past couple of years.
His name
the
was
author Monkey Punch.
Monkey Punch, yeah.
Yeah. So I picked that up at the Barnes & Noble sale.
That's cool.
So I don't know. The movie was awesome. I just really enjoyed it. I watched that a few weeks ago. It did crack our anime of the year list, but we didn't get to really fully talk about it yet. And it was just like fun.
It's a good time.
Like, and like I said, normally I hate movies, but like this one sucked me in.
I think it's like parts of it were a little bit slow, but like very like, what's the word, like calming, and then like it just goes like full spy movie action thriller.
It had that Miyazaki where even the slow moments, they had their purpose. It was almost to like set that tone, and it had that like calm, comfy tone, and he lets just like quiet moments make the bigger moments even more exciting.
Yeah. I hope that it doesn't poison the rest of your Lupin experiences, because for me that was the best Lupin I've ever seen. And I don't dislike Lupin. It's a very episodic show, but I hope that moving forward you're just like, oh, it doesn't capture it the same way.
I don't think I'm gonna ever watch anything else Lupin related.
I think you could watch a couple episodes of the anime. Actually, I think I might watch it this year. Is they had a special a few years ago, the something of Fujiko Mine. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Right. Yeah, I did hear about that.
I think that's like kind of one where she's the main star, and Fujiko didn't get a lot of screen time in this movie, but Fujiko's pretty cool.
No.
And Goemon also didn't get a lot. I think you should experience the whole
He
gang
just did some
a
cool
little more.
samurai stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's what he does. He just cuts planes in half and stuff like that.
it's pretty badass.
Anything else you want to say about the movie, or have you started reading the manga yet?
I haven't started with the manga yet, but the movie, it really scratched the James Bond itch that I needed because I've hated everything James Bond for like the past 20 years. So, you know, did its job. Granted, it was from the 70s, so it was from a much better era of James Bond.
That's amazing that animation's from the 70s because it's still so
I know it's
tight.
really, really well done.
It's got the campy feel that modern James Bond does not at all.
Exactly. I hate modern James Bond.
Not a Daniel Craig guy.
Oh, I hate Daniel Craig.
He's a miserable.
Love Lupin. Hate Daniel Craig.
Hot take of the century.
Lupin should be the next James Bond, yes.
Oh, you know what? Last thing is when I was watching Castle of Cagliostro, I looked into Monkey Punch a little bit. If you look
Yeah.
into his like, I don't want to say discography, but like his list of works published, it's insane. Like, let me pull it up really quick on Wikipedia because I was just like inspired and in awe.
I've looked into it too. He's a fascinating person.
I don't know too much about him. I just know that like he's just a fucking machine. Like
It's more so just like he didn't have a lot of source material to go on when he started writing manga. As in, there wasn't like a ton of manga around other than, you know, what he was kind of creating.
Yeah, like the guy who made Astro Boy, like that was probably
Right.
only guy he could base off of. But like, dude, look at this. Look at his list of created works starting from the 1960s. Like from 1962 to 1969, he's got like 20 different series or things that he worked on. And then the 70s is even more. There's like another 30, the 80s another 20, and then he slows down as he's like 60 probably. He starts slowing down.
But you also respect it. Like he's doing things he likes and doing things he enjoys. And like you look at his early work in the 60s, that's before he had like the pull from Lupin III. You know, that's him just starting out, and he wasn't giving up. He just kept making stuff he enjoyed making, clearly.
Yeah, I would love to see these like one shots or whatever series that he worked on, just to like get an understanding of what it was like back then. I mean, it's so inspiring. Like his most recent work before he passed away, he was 73 years old when he was working on these character designs, which is like so cool.
Yeah, he's definitely a cool guy. I wish you could get more about Japanese creators. I feel like sometimes we don't even know what they look like. We don't even see pictures of them.
No, yeah, you really don't. And a lot of them are like shut in, so they'll wear a mask and they barely talk about themselves.
Yeah, I'd really like to know about their history and like, I don't know.
What's this guy like if you take him to a
documentaries.
bar? You know, like what's he like?
You really don't get a ton of that.
No.
I mean, even Akira Toriyama. You know, I don't know anything about him.
I know that he's very forgetful.
Well, yes, but we know that because of his work.
Right. Like, what's he like on a normal day? Like, what does he enjoy doing besides drawing manga?
Exactly. I'd love to start seeing like documentaries about these guys.
That's the shame of it all, is that the industry just churns them out, crushes them and churns them out because they're literally working 6-7 days a week. So they might not even have much going on outside of manga.
No, none of them really are personalities other than Araki.
Mm-hmm. And he's just a strange cat. Even Oda, you don't really know much about. He loves movies.
No, there's only like 4 pictures of him on the internet.
Yeah.
And this guy's a billionaire.
But the thing is, he doesn't even get to enjoy it. It's like...
No, that too.
Anyway, guys, that is Lupin III. Went on a tangent there. For me, the last thing that I've been watching recently is Haikyuu Season 2. So right before our Anime of the Year, I had watched the entire training arc of Season 2. I just started the spring tournament, and it's been really good so far. I don't know how much of this you remember, Rob, but the first round, they fight like the group of punks who are like, nah, we're gonna lose anyway. So like we're just gonna try and have some fun. And then they have so much personality. Like even these throwaway characters, they get inspired and they're like, no, we actually want to try harder next year. We're gonna try and win next year after they lose their first match.
That's right, yeah. And you know what they do well in Haikyuu is that the main player from that team continues to appear.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of the chameleon guy from iShield 21.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I actually thought that as well.
He's kind of like the character that's going to go like, Timmy, you know? He's like the kind of the punk.
Yes.
And then the other episode that I watched was they just fought the team with the giant, the guy who's like 6'5" and he's like he's like 14 years old.
That's right.
So it's been really entertaining, and like there hasn't been any throwaway episodes. So I'm excited to keep moving on and see them trudge through the competition.
Yeah, no, I love Haikyuu. It just keeps getting better, so you're gonna enjoy it as you go along with it.
Okay, I'm excited. I think I'll probably end up finishing Haikyuu this year just because it's been so fun to watch. Like it hasn't been hard as it
Yeah,
is with a lot of other series. Robert, tell me about A Man and His Cat.
it is so wholesome. It is about a man and his cat. No, so the first chapter starts with like this really fat, ugly cat sitting at like the pet shop, and nobody wants the cat. And then this like suave-looking, middle-aged, 50-year-old man comes in, and he's like, "I want that cat. It's so perfect. I love it."
It's so
But
perfect.
what we come to find out, oh yeah, there's lots of cat puns, is that the man's like wife recently died, and this is the first time he's ever gotten like a pet, and they're just the depressed cat because it was stuck at the pet shop for so long, and this man who's trying to find like love again, and
Right.
they just come together, and it's just so wholesome. And also he's like this world famous pianist, but like he can't perform anymore because like the last time he performed is when he found out his wife died.
Oh,
So like he's like trying to get back to the piano, and it's like I thought this was just going to be cute and wholesome, but this is actually like filled with heart.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Is this just one volume?
I think there's 4 volumes out so far. I've
Oh.
read the first 2 so far.
I didn't think that this had enough legs to like have a full blown story. I thought it was just like a cute story
So did I.
because that was definitely the one that captured my attention the most out of the ones that Cassie gave you.
Yeah, and it's actually really good, and I can't wait to read the next volume.
Maybe I'll get my hands on A Man and His Cat.
I do recommend it.
That is a funny looking cat, not gonna lie.
It's hideous.
This isn't on the docket, but I have watched one more series. I was trying to find like romance series for a Valentine's Day episode, and one that I have had on my to watch list for a long time is Bloom Into You. Have you heard anything about it?
Okay. No, I haven't heard that one.
I watched one episode. It is about a girl who is kind of like confused about her feelings because she had a boy confess to her, and she hasn't been able to like feel the spark or enjoyment because she's like she likes this dude, but she doesn't get the butterflies,
The Doki Doki.
the doki dokis, yeah. And oh, really funny by the way. My girlfriend asked me, "What does uwu mean?" the other day, and I had to try to explain that.
How do you even answer that question?
I don't even remember what I said. I was like, "Oh, what?" She said UWU. I was like,
Woo.
ooh. It's like a Doki Doki, but not quite. But this series, so she goes and joins like the student council, like she's starting high school, and she meets the student council president, who also has never really felt these butterflies. But then all of a sudden, it gets like super spicy. Like the student council president, like admits her love for her. She's like, "I might be falling for you." After the first episode,
That doesn't sound like a romance manga.
like, and main girl who's like confused about her feelings, like, I don't know what's going on anymore. And I think she's kind of like discovering her sexuality. And I don't know, it seems wholesome so far, but it's like, I've never seen a series where the spice gets turned up that fast.
I mean, I haven't either.
Like you got some juicy hand holding in the first episode. Like what the hell? Like we've read 40 chapters of Blue Box. We gotten an accidental fall over is the best we've gotten so far.
I've read 300 chapters of something without a confession.
Oh, Comey? Comey's got some head pats, right?
Oh my god, yeah, that's all we get.
Yeah, so that's Bloom Into You. I'll keep going with it for a little bit and I'll see how it turns out.
My expectations are subverted. I'll say that much. It sounds like.
Video games, Robert.
You know what? I'm just going to start. No, I'm going to start this and finish it real fast. I was playing Paper Mario 64 on the Switch online, really enjoying it. And then the Switch online is such a piece of absolute garbage that it crashed and deleted my save file. And I looked it up. This is a common problem online. I'm not the only person that has had this happen to them.
How far did you
get? I'm so
get?
pissed off. I was at the end of chapter 5. I lost the boss fight, which other people have said losing the Chapter 5 boss fight can crash the game and delete your file. Lost all my save file.
I feel like that's your own fault. I've never lost a boss fight in Paper Mario.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. That was bad on my part. Well, no, also the problem was the frame rate on the emulator for Switch Online is such garbage that you can't even time the action commands on that fight.
Oh, that sucks. That's so important.
Yeah. Oh my god. I hate the Nintendo Switch.
Like,
piece of shit.
the anger coming out from
Because
you.
I was really enjoying playing Paper Mario 64 for the first time in a while. I love this game. And then I lost probably 12 hours worth of progress. And I was like, well, I'm not doing that again.
And you were in your weakened COVID state as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And they had it taken away from me.
You're never going to play the Switch again this year, are you?
No, fuck Nintendo.
Game of the year is just going to be me talking to myself and ranking my favorite games of the year.
It might be.
Now we need to get you in there. We got to get at least 10 games out of you. I've actually been playing a lot of video games. Also, I'm very sorry to hear about that, Rob. That sucks.
It was painful.
So you're dropping... Sorry, before I get into my stuff, you're dropping that forever?
Yeah, you're not going to come back and make up 12 hours worth of lost gameplay. There was only 2 chapters left.
You got to hook up the 64, dude.
I know.
It's time. Anyway, so I've been playing quite a few games. I'll start with Slay the Spire. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
Okay.
I've heard of Slay the Spire.
It's a roguelike deck building game, which if you asked me what that meant 2 weeks ago, I would not understand what you're saying. But it's kind of like, what's the best way to describe it? It's like a tower climbing game where you have to fight monsters, but it's like Yu-Gi-Oh, where your attacks are based on your deck. So like you have attack cards, defend cards, and you have to like climb and you have to fight monsters and climb your way to the top.
That sounds pretty interesting, actually.
It's so freaking addicting, man. It's each round, if you're good at it, you could probably finish it in like, I've seen people finish it in like 5 minutes. That's insane. But you could probably finish it in like an hour to an hour and a half if it's like your first time playing it. And it's just really fun. It's like 70 different floors and you fight monsters. You can take the gold that you win from monsters and go to the shop. And you kind of have to like find your path that is like the most efficient path that's going to get you the best cards.
This is an indie game, right?
Indie game, only $7.50 right now. I think I got it for $10 on Black Friday. So I would check it out if I were you. The only thing I have to say on the negative side is it has no personality really. Like it's kind of got like an ominous vibe, but the characters don't have any personality. And also the animation is very limited. So you're really just going there for like the strategy and gameplay for it.
The gameplay.
Yeah.
Is the highlight.
Yeah. But still really an enjoyable time. I've also been playing 2 more games. One of them is Digimon Cyber Sleuth.
I don't know why. I've heard so much about this game for the past like 3 years.
Out of all the Digimon games, I feel like it's like the only one that I have an actual title in my head about, which is why I picked it up. It is not a good game so far, man.
Oh, really?
I was really excited to play this because I'm a big Digimon guy, and it's literally like an anime. Like there's so many fully animated cutscenes with really good Japanese voice acting, but like the first 2 hours, so much of it is literally just like cutscenes, and I'm just like, I just want to fight with my Digimon. And I get through it, and I'm finally playing with my Digimon, and I'm really excited. You can pick between 3 starters, sort of like Pokemon. I chose Terriermon, who's like this super cute bunny. Let me show Rob, that way he can...
Is Agumon in it?
I haven't gotten an Agumon yet, but he is in it.
Is there more than one of each?
Yeah. This is Terriermon.
Oh, I've seen him before.
He's adorable. Like, fucking look at this guy. He's cute as shit.
I have seen that one before.
So I got my Terriermon all the way leveled up to the ultimate form. So Digimon have like 5 forms. Ultimate's like the 4th out of the 5th form. You have no idea how Digimon works, right?
I know they're digital monsters and that Digimon have the power.
Yes, that is all correct. But the thing with Digimon is that they can de-digivolve, so they can go backwards as well. And also the other thing is there's like cross-pollination in terms of who can digivolve. So like, let's say you have Agumon and you have another guy, they can both digivolve into the same guy, or someone can...
What's the point of disevolving?
So in the show, it was like a digivolution is sort of like a temporary power-up. So you only digivolve like when you're fighting someone who you need to power up against. And you're not going to go like to your highest form if you don't need to, because it costs energy. Right. In this, you can de-digivolve in order to like retain some of the stats of your evolution form and then re-evolve it into something different. So it's sort of like to maximize some sort of build that you're going for.
Right.
I have not done that yet, but that's the way they've explained it. The gameplay of this is it's like 3 Pokemon at a time fighting up to 3 wild Pokemon, let's say. And on normal mode, it's so easy. And then on a hard mode, it's almost too hard sometimes. Like the boss monsters like obliterated me. So I've been sort of like jumping between the two. And the other thing that really isn't great about the game is that it's so easy. Like you get to capture wild Digimon just by defeating them. So like if you beat them like 5 times, they get to be downloadable. And I probably have like, I don't know, like 40 Digimon already. And you can put them in a farm, which is sort of like a daycare, and they will fucking rise through the ranks so quick. So I have like 15 ultimate Digimon, like the 4th highest level form. And I can't even use all of them because I don't have the space to fight with all of them. But it's so easy to get these really high level guys. So it's not rewarding in that sense.
That's lame.
And the last thing that I have to complain about is that you're a cyber sleuth. So you are like doing little mini detective cases.
A digital detective.
You're a digital detective. You go into a digital world and you have to run these kind of like fetch quests. And the fetch quests are so annoying. It's like the least narrative driven fetch quest ever. It's like a Digimon will say, I lost this thing in this dungeon. Can you go find it for me? So you go find a sparkling thing on the floor. You bring it back to them. You get gold. And then you'll get another request of a different Digimon saying the same thing. So you're just running into a dungeon, getting the same thing, and you can only do one dungeon at a time. So it's so
that sounds tedious
and frustrating. The only positive thing I have to say is that it's really cool seeing your favorite Digimon from the show, and you're like, oh shit, like I got him. Like I wasn't expecting that. So it's like got the nostalgia factor, but gameplay wise, I am not enjoying this game at all so far.
There goes that one.
I think Shin Megami Tensei is probably going to be like a good hard version of this. I have not played that yet though.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, it didn't come in the mail. I just ordered it. Oh, sorry, I'm still going on about this, but there's just one really funny factor where you can have a Digimon cannibalize another Digimon and absorb its data and get all of their experience. And I just thought that was so fucked up, but also hilarious.
That sounds kind of rude.
So it's like, oh, I don't like you. I'm just going to absorb all this guy's energy and level you up. That way I don't have to do it
I don't
myself.
care that you were doing your best. You're done.
I thought that was funny.
It's fucked up.
That is enough about Digimon. I will keep you posted if anything good or more bad happens.
Please don't.
Okay, last thing on my part. I know I've been doing a lot of talking, but I recently purchased the Phoenix Wright trilogy. Have you played any Phoenix Wright, Rob?
I have actually never played a Phoenix Wright game.
Initially, I didn't see the appeal. I was like, why do I want to be a lawyer in a video game? Like,
it's kind of a visual novel, right? You're just making the choices, point and click.
Yeah, essentially. And this game it's insane. It's like from 2001, so it's over 20 years old now.
Are these the Game Boy Advance ones?
They are the DS ones, maybe the Advance ones. It totally stands the test of time. I think it's only $15 for the whole trilogy. I think you would love it. You should buy it if it's still $15. You play as Phoenix Wright, a newbie defense attorney, and he just has to defend these different victims in these murder cases. And you get really invested in the characters. Like there's another attorney who's this really douchey, what's it called, prosecutor, who is called Miles Edgeworth.
Edgeworth, right? Yeah.
Yes. Like he's like, I've seen him before, and it's cool to finally play with him. And he'll rig evidence, and he'll figure out any way to win. And slowly, like, I'm on the 3rd case right now, and you're like sort of understanding like these two characters have a history that feels kind of spicy, like tense, that you don't know about. So like you're uncovering things about these characters.
The games also have some pretty good music too, I think.
The music's good. The gameplay stands the test of time. I'd say the only thing is that they redrew a lot of the line art, and it feels like a little bit flat. And the game would really benefit from some voice acting, but like that's all just minutia, you know. Like the actual gameplay is excellent. And it's so satisfying. Like the way the gameplay works is like you'll collect clues and talk to people, and then you enter the courtroom, and then you'll get like a witness testimony, and then you have to find out where they're lying, and you say like objection, and then you give them the evidence to say like this is where you're lying. And it's just really satisfying to play this and pretend that you're like a hotshot defense attorney.
I feel like Ace Attorney is one of the most shocking things that I've never played.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that it's broken through the video game culture. Like, you just know who he is, but you're like, why do I want to be a lawyer? But it's surprisingly really great. I love it.
I gotta do this at some point. It's been a long time coming for me to play an Ace Attorney game.
Go buy the $15 one, because this is the original first 3 games, and maybe in the future I'll pick up some of the newer ones. But
Right.
But I think it's still on sale. Check it out. That's everything we have for video games, unless you have something else on there, Rob.
No, fuck Nintendo for ruining my Paper Mario experience.
Okay. News. The Sonic 2 movie, Robert.
It looks pretty dope. We got Idris Elba as Knuckles. What else could you ask for?
What a freaking shocker that was. The whole trailer, I was sort of like, oh, this seems pretty fun. And then fucking Knuckles shows up and I was like, oh, fuck, like, this looks badass.
I don't know. I just appreciate how much effort looks like goes into this movie. The first one I did see, and it was okay. It was good. I appreciated it. I didn't think it was bad. And I think going into it, I had such low expectations that I was like, oh, wow, that was actually not terrible. But this one, like, kind of looks like it's going to be fun.
I wish they had kept the original Sonic design.
Oh, no, that was so terrifying.
It would have been a horror movie instead.
It made me really uncomfortable.
I loved it.
I think it was the teeth.
Oh, the human teeth on the hedgehog.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, that didn't work for me. That didn't do it.
You think you're going to go into theaters and watch this, or you're just going to wait for it to come out later?
No. I definitely won't see it in theaters, but I will see it at some point. And I think I'll enjoy it.
I'm glad they finally gave Knuckles some, like, reputation again. Like, Knuckles has been getting bashed for a few years now.
Everything in Sonic has been getting bashed for 10 years.
Yeah.
Because the series is a dumpster fire.
This might be the best Sonic news we've heard in a long time.
It probably is. I'm going to be honest with you.
Robert, tell me about Pokemon Legend of Arceus.
We go from good news to terrible news. This game looks atrocious.
Really? I thought the overall news about it was good.
Well, people are idiots. People eat up at all Pokemon's shit, and this game looks terrible.
Why does it look terrible?
I want you to look at it from the graphical standpoint, and honestly tell me that you think this looks good, and you think this could not have been done on a Nintendo GameCube. The textures are atrocious. The animations are choppy. It just looks bad.
I honestly don't hate it.
Oh my god! I knew you would say that. You're sitting here looking at pictures, and these are the pictures that they're showing. This is what they're marketing. And if this looks that bad, imagine how bad it's going to be when it actually comes out.
Why do you hate this so much? I think it reminds me of, like, Breath of the Wild a little bit. Obviously not as nice, but it's not terrible.
Oh my god. You see, you're the problem. You're why Pokemon is as terrible as it is.
I want you to specifically point out, like, what don't you like about this?
I'm telling you, the textures are atrocious. It looks bad. And if you were watching a video, you would see how terrible the animation is, the frame rate. It's not good. Look, I can't believe, as you're looking at these pictures, that you think those textures are acceptable for a $60 game from the highest grossing media franchise of all time.
I don't know. Maybe my expectations are, like, low, but I don't know. I think it looks pretty decent.
I'm done with this conversation. I can't believe you could be.
I think it's cool that, like, you have an overworld with Pokemon running around. I think it looks interesting. I'm not going to get it, but they finally evolved it in some way, hopefully.
I can't wait till our discussion next month when actual reviews are out of this game and people eat it up as the shit it is.
I have no context. Like, this is literally the first time I'm looking stuff up, and I don't know. It doesn't look horrible.
Look at that grass.
Yeah, this grass not the greatest, but
whatever. I can't. If this is impressive to you, then I don't even know what kind of conversation we're gonna have.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see. So you're definitely not getting this, right?
No, I'll probably get it.
You're a piece of shit. You talk more vitriol about Pokemon than anyone I know, but then you end up getting Diamond and Pearl. You end up getting Arceus.
I'll get it used.
No, you're not. You're going to get a new one.
No. I won't support that. I'll get it used. I'll get it on eBay.
For like $50 instead of $60.
Yeah. That's how I sleep at night.
That's what helps you. Robert, our last piece of news for the day is the Dragon Ball Superhero trailer.
Terrible name.
I am so confused. Is this a game? Is this an anime? I watched the trailer like an hour ago, and I was like, "What the?
It's a movie.
It's a movie?
Yeah.
It looks like a video game."
Yeah, the art style's a little strange.
I think that looks wonkier than this Pokemon game.
Oh my god. You Now I feel like you're just trying to piss me off.
But do you think it looks good? Look at it. It's so. Doesn't it look like you're playing Dragon Ball Fighter Z?
Yeah, I think it looks interesting. I think it's Dragon Ball. We're 40 years into this franchise. I'm not going to complain about a different art style or trying something new.
I just think it. I don't think it looks bad necessarily. It looks like a video game though. It seems like very like 3D rendered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting.
Do you have any context? So the trailer I watched, at least, it did not have any English subs. It just had like closed captioning, auto translate. So I have no context about what the hell this movie's about.
I don't think even after watching the movie we're going to really know what it's about, other than Gohan getting wrecked and Goku having to save the day, as always.
Sounds like Dragon Ball.
That's my assumption. I don't know. It looks like they're trying to like redeem Gohan, right?
I was gonna say
Got a
these
lot of
guys
Gohan.
look like Super Sentai guys, but they're Red Ribbon guys. So I don't know.
I feel like I don't know is once again a common sentiment when dealing with the Dragon Ball continuity.
I am intrigued. Do we know when this is coming out?
I think in the summer. I just hope it means we're getting more of the Dragon Ball Super anime, because unlike you, I enjoyed that.
I'm so done with Dragon Ball. I'm so over it. They need to let this thing die and let Akira Toriyama rest.
He barely does anything with this.
What?
All he does is, I think the only thing he designed with this movie was the two,
The alien guys?
yeah, who both look exactly the same. So he really only designed one character. He does not do much of anything. He just enjoys his life, goes designs some Dragon Quest characters every now and then, and calls it a day.
There you have it. Akira Toriyama at his best.
Oh, and we will see this movie together.
Oh no, I don't want to. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
you
get
know we
COVID
will.
again just so I don't have to watch this movie.
Too bad. We're
Oh.
dragging you.
Okay, that is everything we have for news. Into our emails.
There's no way we got an email.
We got an email. Rob, if
We
someone
did
wants
not
to
get an
email
email.
us, where can they email us?
I don't know why anybody would email us, because nobody uses email.
They can find us at sclasspodcast@gmail.com.
Might as well send a telegram.
We'll take those too. And if you send us an email, it'll sound a little something like this. Dear S-Class Duo, really been enjoying the podcast despite your terrible taste in anime. That's fair. I'm a big Naruto fan and wanted to ask which of you two would be the better Hokage and what would be the first law that you enact? Thanks so much. Best, Jokage74. Thank you,
Well-
Jokage, for the email.
The easy answer is that I would be a terrible Hokage.
You could be the Jokage, the Hokage, excuse me, and
Hokage.
I would be like the person who does all the work for you.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd be a good face.
You'd be
for
like the
village.
Naruto, and I'd be the Shikamaru.
Oh, that's fair. You know what I would do, though? No more sandals.
No more sandals. Why?
No more sandals.
Dude.
I hate sandals. I don't want to be walking around the village looking at everybody's feet.
Dude, those are the best kind of shoes. You can run in them, but you still get airflow. I'm a big
No.
Naruto ninja sandal kind of guy.
No, that is the first law I would enact, is making sandals illegal.
I'm going to be running against you. I'm going to be the Danzo of this election.
I feel like
What?
I might be the Danzo, but for taking away sandals.
I'm going to say that female ninjas have to wear lower cut vests
Wow, that is just going in a completely different direction.
for more airflow. The same reason why I support the sandal movement.
So you want to give the ninjas more airflow, I want less.
Yeah, you want to like tighten them up and like put more armor on them, but I'm like, no, just like let everything fly out.
This is supposed to be a job. You're supposed to be a professional. You're not wearing sandals to work.
What do you know about being a professional? Get out of here.
Not much, but I know enough to know that you don't wear sandals to work.
I think we'd still be a better Hokage than like half the Hokages, though.
I mean, we can't be worse.
I mean, second Hokage.
Half of them died.
I mean, that happens sometimes. But second
Part of the
Hokage
job.
was a racist. Third Hokage created a secret inside job genocide. That's his fault.
Fourth Hokage stuffed a cursed fox inside his newborn son.
And once again, the third Hokage was like, we're going to treat this kid like trash, even though his dad was a hero. Should be like common knowledge that this kid is like a legend. but instead it's a secret, and we're going to put them in
We'd
the
fall
slums.
somewhere in the middle in terms of quality Hokage.
I guess maybe like the first Hokage and maybe Tsunade are better than us. Maybe. Tsunade is also an alcoholic and a gambler, so maybe we'll be better than both of them.
Yeah, you know what? I think we do our best. And once we got rid of the sandals, I think people would respect us a lot more.
I can't stand with this. This is ridiculous.
I rest my case.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that I would do as Hokage?
I'd also hand out socks to everyone.
No.
Because I don't think anybody in that village owns a pair of socks.
This is the village of fire. We do not need more socks. We do not need more heat. We're fine.
Isn't it the Wind Village?
No, they're the village of the leaf in the Fire Nation. You don't know anything about Naruto, Jesus. Well, Jokage, there you have it. We are going to be changing the apparel of the Konoha village, and that is going to be our first enactment.
That's going to be my only enactment.
Okay, guys, that's going to do it for today.
I'm retiring.
What a note to end it on. As always, thank you guys so much for listening. We'll catch you guys next time. What a terrible podcast.